Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Jujutsu Kaisen episode number 13 reaction. Okay, so the previous episode we had to confront Junichi. Yuji went in, tried to stop him, uh, tried to get to him, was able to kind of get to him by the end of it, was able to kind of almost convince him. But then comes in Mahito and completely just changes his the way his vessel is, and by the end of it, Yuji has to defeat him and kill him. So there you go. That was it. Like he tries to ask Sukuna for help to bring Junichi back, but yeah, Sukuna's a prick. He won't help. He not only did he not help, but he just laughed at him and all that. So there you go. So Yuji actually fights Mahito after that, since he is actually a vessel, and the power that he's using, like Sukuna's inside of him, he's actually able to strike Mahito's soul directly. So Mahito's taking damage, and by the end we get to see like a huge battle happens. In the end, we get to see Mahito try to go in and peek inside of Yuji, trying to see trying to get to see Sukuna, but Sukuna just kicks him out. He's like, "How dare you come and tread in my place?" Like, who gave you that right? Piss off. Basically, that happened, and yeah, in the end, in comes what was his name? I forgot his name. Oh God. Yo, I just forgot his name. That guy, the guy with the critical hit guy. His name was Nanami. Yes, Nanami. There you go. Yeah, Nanami comes in and he decides to join in, and he's like, you know what, my crit damage and your ability to actually put damage to him is going to work out. So I'm going to attract his attention. You defeat him. So that's the plan now. So yeah, both of them will be fighting Mahito together now. So let's see what happens. This is episode number 13. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God. Punched him. Yeah, but when I'm lecturing, and he can harm him. Or yeah, and that as well. All right. All right. Oh my God. Like that. Okay, I don't think you can really take care of him that quickly because Nanam is quite strong. Yeah, all right. Damn. Woohoo. Okay, that's gonna hurt if it gets you. All right, that's weird. Oh, yo. What the hell is with that face? Yeah, that looks like so weird. Yeah. What the? A? That's nasty. Wait, you weren't supposed to kill him? What the hell? Oh my God, this is just. Just kick them, or that. Oh my God. That is. Uh, yeah, like keeping them alive is inflicting more pain on them. Yeah. There you go. Well, okay, here we go. Crit, crit hit. Oh, nice, nice. Here we go. Here we go. A few more hits. A few more hits. There you go. Oh, well, this is, yeah. He never knew what death is, because he can just change his whole. Yeah, he's gaining inspiration to make new things. Like that's the crazy part. He's gaining experience. Oh no! I was wondering when this is going to happen. Okay, this is bad. Self embodiment of perfection. Yeah, this is not good. Well, good for you. All right, interesting. So makes sense. I guess he never really got to know what pain and what the possibility of death actually is, which was kind of stopping him for gaining his domain expansion. Because you need that experience, which he gained here. So this actually worked, like for his, like in in his like favor, and he was able to learn domain expansion because he never knew about how to make domain expansion because he's quite new. Like like I remember them kind of explaining how he is a very newly made curse, so he didn't know domain expansion. And here, after gaining that experience, gaining that pain, understanding what death might be, he was able to, as he said, get the inspiration as to how to switch on his domain expansion. And yo, there you go. It worked in his favor. And I do like, I'm sure Nanami also has a domain expansion. She should have, shouldn't he? So who knows? Maybe we'll get to see it here. But first, we need to get out of this troublesome situation. So let's see. I doubt Yuji will be able to do his domain expansion until Sukuna helps him. Oh, it's like a. Oh wait, Nanami is the only one who got trapped in it because he won't kill you. Yeah. Oh, he is. Oh no. Yeah, this is problem. What now? Hmm. Oh, a little flashback. Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's okay. What the? Yeah. Huh. Oh, he's teaching. He's junior, I'm guessing. Yeah, what? Why are you so close? Wow. Damn. Okay. Why are we getting his flashback? Is he gonna die or something? Oh no. Damn. And that's why he left his office, I'm guessing. Oof. Yeah, the curse. Oh. Damn. Yeah, that's true. True. It's outside the natural human. Wow. True. Oh. He's like, oh. Hmm. Hmm. And that is why he went back to being a Jujutsu sorcerer. Hmm. And he calls Satoru. Oh boy. Oh god, here we go. Now what? Oh, he's opening his. Sure. Wait, is Yuji actually able to oh my god, alright. Oh! Nice! Here we go. Well. Ah. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. So there's no made into makes sense because yeah, because you're putting yourself in danger if you go inside a okay. Yeah, for but for Yuji, it's convenient because Mahito won't kill him. Oh, oh, Sukuna's here. Oh no, here we go. Mahito's gone. Oh, pleasure and displeasure. There you go. His target is Fushiguro. Oh boy, here we go. Bam, and that's it. Yeah, Mahito flew too close to the sun. That's why his wings melted and he fell down. Hmm. Well, it's not healing. It cannot heal it because obviously. Alright, here we go! Oh my god, not again. Oh. Ah, here we go. Turning into a monster. Typical for a villain, you know, whenever situation is dangerous. Alright, here we go. Just punch the stomach. Oh, here we go. Divergent fist. Oh! Oh, he just burst like a balloon. Great. Oh, there he is. Oh my god, please don't let this thing escape. Please, please don't let this thing escape. Oh my god, he ran away. God damn it. Well, he'll run away. Like, oh great. Even you can exercise. Oh, yeah, he got a lot of damage. Oh boy. Damn. Alright, let's see what happens to him. Joe. Hmm. Well, then why did you run away? Huh? Oh boy, there we go. Yeah, that's true. Well, obviously. Hmm. Yeah, but still, it was inside the domain expansion. Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. Makes sense. Hmm. Yeah, he didn't want them to die like that. Hmm. And the thing is, like Yuji did give them a proper death. They wanted to die, and so he. Yeah, true. Hmm. True. Hmm. Bullying, survey on bullying. Damn. Yeah, the whole thing with Unity. Like, what is this going to help? Survey on bullying? Oh god, this guy's so trash. At least he kind of realized what he needs to do. But I don't think this trash is going to improve. Well, until I do understand. No, there you go. Hmm. All right. Okay. Jujutsu Sampo. Here we go. Panda. Okay. Wow. They're actually giving us the recipe. Shape with spoon, toss it on the pot. Ground chicken, ginger paste, there you go. You can use white stew if it's too hassle. Wait, can pandas eat? Ah, oh, yeah, they still don't know that Yuji is alive. Ooh, Vegas. Yeah. Oh my god, that what? In Fushiguro. Oh boy, they'll get a shock. Okay, that is it. So, yeah, this episode we get to see the remaining, like like the battle, the concluding section of the battle between Mahito, Yuji, and Nanami. So, like, we were able to establish the fact that Nanami cannot really defeat him or deal damage to him. So, what he's going to do is kind of like draw attention to him while Yuji defeats him. That was the plan. While Mahito starts transfiguring his own body, changing it into different things like a blade. One of his hand had like an eyeball, and was attacking and trying to keep them in like in bay. So there was a one section where he kind of made him into thorns. So he's like, oh, I thought that this would work, but turns out it didn't. And like Yuji and Nanami starts chopping the thorn. So he thinks there's a few other things that he does. He kind of changes into like a little boy and starts running away. And like he's like, all right, you know what? My natural enemy, Yuji. I need to take care of him first. So he brings out a few of the transfigured humans and tells them to go and attack Yuji, because obviously he knows that Yuji won't really be able to attack them back, because he doesn't want to kill normal people. Like, even though they're not that normal now, they're like a transfigured like monsters. Still, those were actually actual humans. So he knows that Yuji will not be able to kill them, and tells them to go and attack Yuji. And exactly that's what happens. Yuji kind of hesitates, but in the end we can see that Yuji, when confronted by them, and like when they were like on top of Yuji, they said something like, oh, please kill me. And here's the thing, like Yuji always talks about giving people the proper death. Now, like that is why he doesn't want them to die like this, in this way, in this monstrous way. He wants everyone to have the death like a normal death, like a normal human being, just like how his grandfather died on the bed of a hospital or whatever, like as a normal human. He wants to give everyone that type of death, like this type of death where they're like a monstrosity. He doesn't want that. But if you think about this in a different way, at that moment when those little things were attacking him, if you think about this, they in no way will be able to come back to proper human form. This is how they are. So Yuji actually killing them, you could say he actually gave them a proper death. If you think about it like that, like he gave them a proper death, which they probably wouldn't have gotten if Yuji kept them alive. you know so Yuji's thinking that this is not a proper death because they're monsters. But if you think about it in a little different way, you can say that Yuji actually killing them was him providing them proper death. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened in the future. They probably would have just stayed like this, and I don't know, like died in some place else. But Yuji gave them a proper death, and they were like begging for him to kill them. So at that point, it was actually like him not killing them would have been crueler and than him killing him. Now, here's another thing I feel like that everyone should think about, is that everyone is afraid of getting their own hands dirty. This is a very true thing. like especially in these type of like like situations and these type of career like like thing like being a Jujutsu sorcerer. You need to get used to getting your hands dirty. If you're not able to get that to happen, you like it'll be troublesome in the future. So Yuji actually killing like these creatures, taking their life, like he had to get his own hands dirty to do that. So I feel like this is going to help in the future, where if he's confronted by a same situation, you know, he will actually be able, like he won't hesitate next time. Because in this situation, it was better that he kills them than if he have kept them alive. If he kept them alive, that would have been even crueler, because you can see how they're suffering. They don't want to stay alive. And a lot of people in this type of situation, since you have to take a life, you have to get your own hands dirty, they get afraid. So Yuji doing this will help in the future. Hopefully, like if he's confronted by this type of situation, he will be able to take a snap decision. And in this line of work, he needs that. He needs to get his hands dirty. Anyways, like Mahito kind of didn't think that that's going to happen, so he was like talking smack about like, oh, like he's he's naive, he won't be able to do this and that. And Mahito's like, oh, like you're wrong. If you think that's what Yuji is, then yeah, you're the one who's stupid. So as soon as he says that, Yuji comes in, and he was not expecting him coming suddenly in and just started punching him. And Nanami also starts teaming him. And one after the other, he's getting hit, and you can see here he's like, oh, this is death. I've gotten the inspiration, and from that inspiration he's able to make his own domain expansion, which he didn't know how to do up until now. So learning what pain feels like and what death might feel like, he was able to unlock that experience. And there you go. That is why this acted against Yuji and Nanami's intentions. They didn't want him to suddenly stop, pop out his domain expansion. They were trying to kill him before he's able to use it. So actually trying, dealing him the almost killing blow, he was able to learn it. So, which is ironical, because they were trying to kill him before he is able to use it. But doing that made him use the domain expansion. So Nanami is stuck inside, Yuji is outside. Yuji is like, oh no, like this is bad, and keeps hitting it, while Mahito's inside the domain expansion, and Mahito's like, this is bad. And you know what? Before this, I was like, oh, maybe Nanami is going to use his domain expansion. But immediately my question gets answered. He says he hasn't been able to learn domain expansion, even though he's a Jujutsu sorcerer. He wasn't able to reach that, that pinnacle. So this is troublesome now. And what is and domain expansion, every attack hits. You cannot really dodge it. So being Mahito having the power of transfiguring people's soul and changing in their body, that type of power is even more dangerous. Every attack is going to hit, and as soon as it hits him, Nanami will probably die then and there. So this is a very, very deadly combination, especially the domain expansion with Mahito, because his power is such a thing that if it touches the other person, it's over. So you can see that Nanami takes off his eyeglasses, and he's like, oh, this is it, I feel like. And then we start a flashback. As soon as it started the flashback, I'm like, what? Why are they showing flashbacks? Is he going to die or something? Thankfully, he doesn't die by the end, so that's good. But anyways, in the flashback, we get to see well, Nanami used to go to a bakery where he used to get a bread, and the lady in the bakery, she always used to talk to him, and had small little conversations with him. And Nanami saw that she is being curse is actually on top of her. So you can see that Nanami is like, oh, this isn't really that much of a big deal. Let me just ignore it. And yeah, if you think about it, it was I guess that curse was basically just making her tired and just being a burden on her shoulders. It wasn't really deadly in that sense, I guess you could say. If it was really deadly, I'm pretty sure Nanami would have taken care of it then and there. But that is why he really didn't. He was like, yeah, you know what? Let me just ignore that. And he was a little bit more, I guess you could say, pathetic about the whole scene, because that's the type of person like he tried to be, at least, like deep in his heart he's a nice person, but he, with his own troubles and everything, he tried to stay away from the whole jujutsu, that whole thing. I feel like another reason why he tried to be more apathetic towards the situation and not use his curse technique to take care of the curse is because, like he said, he probably, like, this is just my guess, like he explains, he never was able to reach the pinnacle, that is the domain expansion, which probably made him a little bit more, I guess you could say, sad and depressed. I would say, a little bit, like, made him lose confidence in himself and his jujutsu powers. So that's why he, like, if you remember, he said that I was a jujutsu sorcerer first, became a salaryman, and then became a jujutsu sorcerer again. I think that's what he said before. So being unable to reach that pinnacle, he probably decided to change the job and become like a salaryman. So in this situation, even though he knows and he can see, these curses, him using his powers is something that he doesn't want to remember. He wants to keep his past away from him. That's why he never did anything at that moment, I think. At least that's what I think. But you can see that his situation is similarly bad in the office as well. You can see that he's talking to this one junior. He's like telling him, giving him like good advice. It's like, oh, there's no need to do anything special at the start. Be sincere with the clients. Never forget that. Like his policy is like, oh, be good to your clients. Yeah, it will obviously, it'll take some time, but you'll get what you what you did. If you be kind to someone, you're going to get that back in some way or form, which is obviously something in these type of offices, like in these type of situations, in the business type of situation. This thing is something that nobody does. Everyone is almost, like, be it any kind of business or any kind of thing like that, they're always trying to find opportunity to squeeze as money out from the clients. That is what they do. So Nanami here was like a very big, you could say, exception. So in comes the boss, one of the most weird persons I've ever seen. The guy just gets close to Nanami and starts whispering in his ear, like, dude, like, personal space, that's the thing. And he's like, oh, don't be so prudish all this time. You're scaring. Okay. And then in the end, he gives the junior advice that, oh, it's suitable payment for starting the markets around the clock. So, no, wait, what does he say? Oh no, Nanami says that so we con the client into buying crappy stocks with no growth potential. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, exactly, that's what we do. That's why we're a business. And he's like, yeah, like, change your attitude, Nanami. Like, this is your second year. And you can see that he is not really comfortable in this type of situation because Nanami's own ideals, the way he looks at everything, yeah, and this, this type of a, company where everyone's trying to find opportunities to squeeze the client out of the money, he's not comfortable with this. So you can see that he's giving his all for the job, just doing overtime, everything, gives everything for the job. And next day he goes back to the bakery and he sees this lady again, buys the sandwich that he usually buys, and the lady's like, oh, you seem sleep deprived, is everything okay? And he's like, you also look sleep deprived. And she's like, yeah, you know what, there's a weird like a thing in my shoulder, like a burden kind of thing. I'm not able to properly get to sleep, but it's fine. And here he says one of the a really good thing that he says here, I really this part was, I really like this part where he says, where's that part? Okay, this part. My job is to take money from the wealthy and make those people even more wealthy. That's pretty much all it is, which is true. This is like stock market and everything. I guess unless and until you have quite a good amount of money with you, you don't really usually dabble with stock. If you have spare money, then you dabble with stocks and everything. So that's what he says. We take money from the wealthy to make other wealthier people wealthier. So that's the type of job that he does. And he says, like, frankly, nobody would mind if I was gone. People who wanted to eat bread would mind if if the bakery was gone. Yet for some reason, my job, which exists outside the human cycle, pays better. When you think about it logically, it makes no sense. The girl's like, are you bragging? She's like, oh, I'm kind of stupid. I don't understand these complicated things. So she's like, yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say. And Nanam is like, all right, can you take a step forward? Does the exorcism, the curse is gone? And he's like, yeah, what? Do you feel your shoulders like a little lighter? And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. And he's like, yeah, if there any type of like situation persists, to go to the hospital, you'll be fine otherwise. And he leaves, and the girl comes out, and she's like, oh, like, thank you. I wanted to say that. Please come back again. And she's like, he just ignores her. And she's like, wait, you didn't hear me, did you? And she again tells thank you. And you can see Nanami says that, thank you, is it? I always thought I was a person with no concept of a reason for living. Yeah. And he calls Gojo, and he's like, I need to talk to you. So you can see that here, that he understands here like what he wants to do, his goal in life. And he always thought that he was a person who really didn't have it, but now after interacting with this girl and understanding and getting to hear people thanking him, he realizes what he wants to do. He wants to do good. And that's why he again became a Jujutsu sorcerer. So yeah, and he's like, I love how Mahito's like, oh, thank you for like teaching me this, and he's like, I don't want your crappy thank you. Like the thank you that I needed, I've already gotten it. And while he's saying this, in comes Yuji just breaking down the domain. And here we get a very nice explanation as to what exactly happened. So basically, since the domain is strong from the inside, it's weaker from the outside. So from the outside, Yuji can interfere. Interesting thing that they say here from here onwards is that another fact, which is nobody actually does this. Who would want to get deliberately inside another domain? Who would want that? So in this situation, Yuji being Yuji and having Sukuna within him actually invading inside a domain is actually more dangerous to the user of the domain, because Sukuna is within him. And this is a disadvantageous situation. Another thing, because Mahito is not supposed to kill Yuji, it's again more disadvantageous towards him. So Yuji breaking in and coming in became the most disadvantageous thing that could ever happen to Mahito, because usually nobody even does that. Like just imagine, just think about like Gojo using his domain expansion. Who would deliberately want to break that domain and get inside it and get stuck in infinity? Nobody would. So usually that doesn't happen. So this time it was an exception, because like Yuji has Sukuna, so he gets in immediately. I guess like his soul and his soul kind of like just overlaps with each other, and you can see that Sukuna comes out, and Sukuna's like, I told you, don't you dare tread in my domain. So yeah, I warned you first time, said that there won't be a next time. So here we go, I'm going to kill you now. So like Sukuna attacks him immediately and just destroys the whole domain. It's kind of funny because if you think about it, it isn't even Mahito's fault. Yuji is the one who broke in the domain and got in. So like basically Yuji getting inside the domain landed Mahito in trouble. Like in one of those situations, like you and your friend does something bad and you get blamed for it. and your friend doesn't get any type of punishment, you get punished in his stead. That type of situation. That's exactly what happened here. Because Mahito didn't do anything. Yuji deliberately got in. And Sukuna's like, I warned you. Bam. And you can see that here again he kind of like talks about Fushiguro. He's like, the only person I'm interested in is Fushiguro, and I'm going to see what he does. So I do wonder what the deal is with Fushiguro. Like we got to see before as well, Fushiguro has some kind of a power, which is something that even interests Sukuna, which is something very, I have to say, very weird and unusual, isn't it? Like this is the Sukuna we are talking about, who doesn't really care about anything. Like So what type of power does Fushiguro has that is actually interesting Sukuna? That's something that must be something crazy. So I'm very curious as to see in the future what actually happens. But anyways, so yeah, Mahito gets hurt immediately, cannot really like regenerate properly, and he's like, all right, you know what? Time to become something completely different. And he like uses all his curse powers to like to become this blob. Yuji comes in and just bursts the balloon. But obviously, taking that opportunity, he kind of like changes his form again and just goes into the sewers. And like I said, this is another very like like normal thing that happens in almost most of the animes and mangas, be it shonen, be it something else. That is, whenever a situation like this happens, immediately the enemy just runs, runs away, which is just always, it always happens. So obviously I was thinking like, oh, hopefully we are able to take care of this Mahito in this episode, and this is the end of Mahito. Turns out he will stay and he will be a problem in the future as well. So there you go. Yeah, that's not good. But anyways, he got into the sewers and like ran away. Like you can see that Nanami is like, oh, like calls the other person. He's like, oh, like try to get him. I think he's like he's talking to that helper he had. He's like, even you can take care of it. So quickly try to get it. While he himself was going to go probably try to follow it, but Yuji falls down. So he like he has to scratch that. He goes and helps out Yuji. And yeah, now in this series, you can see that Mahito has realized something. He's like, I saw Sukuna, and I know that whatever happens, if we're able to bring Sukuna back, the time, like the era of curses will begin again. So that's all we need. Like his soul is in a different level. So yeah, and Mahito's like, I can't wait to kill Yuji. Hopefully next time I'm able to do that. Just staying there. So there you go. That was the end of that. So later on, we get to see Yuji talking to Nanami, and Nanami's like, Yuji's like, I wasn't able to provide those guys with proper death. And Nanami tries to cheer him up. Nanami's like, you're the one who saved me, so like I cannot really blame you for like not listening to me. But yeah, like if you didn't come, I wouldn't have been saved. But here Yuji brings out a good point. Yuji's like, that wasn't me. That was actually Sukuna. So it isn't really me who helped you out. But anyways, you can see that like Nanami kind of talks about like Yuji's way of looking at things. He's like, you always talk about giving people proper death, but death is the final destination for all of us. Nobody dies the same death. Trying to guide all of them to their proper end would surely be arduous. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but this is you, so you are going to do it either way. And just don't end up dying, because if you do, just like today, like you might have been able to save someone else, just like how you saved me today. If you yourself die, you won't be able to save those lives. So try to keep yourself, safe as well, because you're a Jujutsu sorcerer. In the future, you're going to meet other people as well who you might need to save. So killing yourself in these type of situation might actually not be good for the long run, because if you're alive, you'll be able to save way more people in the future, and you'll be able to lead them towards a proper death. So try to stay alive yourself as well. Anyways, next we get to see in this school they're having this whole bullying, what was it called, the survey or whatever. All right, this thing, the teacher's like, this is like a sheet of paper, write it down. Don't need to write your name, anonymous, obviously, because like you need to keep this anonymous. So okay, you know what, let me read what this bullying survey is about. Question 1, have you been bullied this school year? Answer, oh, this is one person's like like note. Answer is, I have been bullied. Oh wait, no, it's a multiple choice question. Okay. A, I have been bullied. B, I have not been bullied. Question 2, who have you been bullied by? Please circle all that apply. A, peers, people in the class. B, peers, people from outside your class. C, upperclassmen. D, underclassmen. E, students from other schools. F, other. Underclassmen, I guess. It's a weird thing, like kind of imagining underclassmen bullying you. But at the same time, there are people like, like some crazy people. Oh, nasty people. All right. Question 3. What kind of bullying have you faced? Please circle all that apply. A. Teasing, insult, slander. B. Ostracized, ignored by groups. C. Punched, kicked, beaten. D. Money or possessions stolen. E. Possessions disturbed, soiled, or broken. F. Forced or do embarrassing things or unpleasant acts. G. Insults and scribbles were drawn in your textbook and notebook. Damn, this is thorough. What the hell? Yeah. So obviously they're doing this now because of the whole Junichi situation, and you can see this teacher, the teacher, like that teacher, he's talking to Ito, the guy who used to bully him, Junichi, and you can see the teacher has kind of changed. He realized his mistakes, which is good. Obviously, he'll probably be able to help other students in the future. He wasn't able to save Junichi, but at least he might be able to do it for some other students in the future. So it's a good thing that he changed. You cannot really change your past, but all you can do is make amends and make the future better. So he's trying to do that. I respect him for that. However, this dude, this scumbag, well, this Ito guy, he is like, I don't want to hear you like talking about the guy who was scared to do anything at that time. And he's like, so what it is was what everyone is saying is that he quit school and moved away. So I'm guessing, nobody knows that he died. Like, I'm guessing probably the authorities know that he died, but they're probably keeping it a secret from the students or something. I don't know, or maybe secret from the school. I'm not sure, but like they at least don't know that he died. So yeah, it was like who cares, And he's like, oh, what about me? I've barely been able to move my left arm since that day. And oh my god, this guy. Oh, great. Yeah, and the teacher's like, we're talking about your crimes now. Stop, like, just saying crap. And he's like, you have to bear the crime of killing Yoshino's heart for the rest of our lives. Well, I don't think he's going to, because he seems very like insensitive to these type of things. He doesn't care. So it's crazy. Like, I still like this is such a weird thing. I feel like it's crazy how these students doesn't care at all about the teachers. Like, I feel like if a teacher called me and like told me something like, oh, you're doing this wrong, I would have just like, it would have been a very horrifying situation. Like and not only me, I feel like anyone in these type of situations, like whenever, like I remember in a school, whenever my parents were called, parent teacher meetings, and if someone did something bad, their parents used to be called and everything, and the teachers, the principal might call them. Oh my god, that was horrifying. Whenever teacher used to call us to the staff room, be it like a normal teacher, be it a like a head teacher or like a vice principal or whatever, oh my god, that would be crazy. And the fact that if they suddenly said oh, what, you've done this, I'll be calling your parents, that's even scarier. I cannot even think about students like this who doesn't really care. He's just sitting in front of a teacher, he doesn't give two craps. What type of people are these? Like he probably I'm sure these type of people are the people who weren't really disciplined when they were a kid. They just let him do whatever the hell they want, and that's why he's this pompous little brat now. Just he needed he needed to actually, I'm sure, get properly disciplined as when he was a child. That's the only thing that I can think of. Otherwise, this is such a weird thing for me. Just imagine the teacher calling me gives me shivers. And look at this dude. He doesn't care. So, such a weird thing. I don't know. The bullying thing in itself is, I can understand, when you're in college, maybe university, bullying actually exists. And, it's crazy. But in school, I don't know. At least here, it never really happened, but I can see a few children being like this. I've heard Japan, it's a lot of bullying goes on, so much bullying, in animes and everything. We've seen so much as well, but it still baffles me how a little kid, you're in school, you're not in college or in university, how a little kid can have this amount of like, guts to do something like this, like in front of a teacher, not really caring about anything. Like, it still baffles me. How can a kid have that? Like, these are kids. They are school, like, school students. So I think this is a school, isn't it? This isn't a college. I think this is a school. Yeah, obviously. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, enough about that. But at least the teacher has changed. Like, he'll at least try to help others out from the future. But anyways, later on we get to see Yuji like come in, like in like Gojon's like what's his name? Nana means like waiting, and he's like from next point onwards, I'll be strong enough to not lose, and that's where it ended. So that was a good conclusion to this first arc. I'm guessing this is the first arc. This is episode 13. I'm sure that from the next episode we'll get a new arc, and like a new like second half we're going to get. But yeah, unfortunate ending. We weren't able to save Junichi, but like and Mahito ran away. But like Yuji is more determined than ever, and I can't wait to see when everyone will realize that Yuji is alive, because Nobara and Fuchikuro doesn't know. It'll be funny seeing them realize that, oh, he's alive. Okay, anyways, that is it, guys. That is my reaction to episode number 13 of Jujutsu Kaisen. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week with another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.